So this next story, this one comes from the AP. This is Joe Biden calls for a ban on congressional stock trading. Hear, hear. My gosh, this is also something that should be part of the Democratic platform next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's something that it's such a no-brainer, right? Whenever you talk to people about this, people go, wait, shit, they're allowed to do that?
They don't even know, right?
Right. Like, how is that not a thing? Because, like, up until Trump, that was assumed, fucking Jimmy Carter couldn't have a goddamn peanut farm and serve as president because then he might, push peanut laws his way or whatever. And we're letting Congress trade stock, especially, after COVID, when, they all got the, they all got the briefing on COVID and they all went and they're like, well, shit, we better invest in PPE or whatever it's
call
called.
my broker as soon as they left that meeting. Yes. Call my broker and make sure I'm out of all of these positions and in these positions as quickly as possible. Absolutely, drop all my TGI Fridays stock as quickly as possible. Yeah. I go back to that Jimmy Carter thing all the time, where I think there's this huge bit of hypocrisy from the Republicans that they talk, they just need to divest him. He needed to divest himself from this business. It's such a conflict of interest. He's going to put a can of Jif in every pot. It's ridiculous. And then you get to Donald Trump, who's like, I will put up the Secret Service in my hotel and overcharge the government to make more money off of it.
Right. And then that guy is going to be like, and also there will be an Office of Government Waste and Abuse. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think too, Tom and I have talked about this in the past. I think you've got to make the job of congressperson and senator not as lucrative. And I think a lot of these people recognize that once they get in, there's a lot of lucrative angles. And this is one of them, right? There's nothing that stops me from learning something and then trading stocks. There's nothing that stops me from doing that. And except for ethics, which they don't give a shit about.
Right.
So there's no reason for them to stop. And this is one of the avenues in which these people enrich themselves. So just get rid of this avenue. Be like, and suddenly you get a bunch of people who want to be in that office because it's their life calling, or it's a thing that they're driven to do. It's not, I'm doing this so I can be very rich later.
Right. Well, and it's another one of those things where you really just have to start sort of marvel at the inability of the American people's voice to be heard, because this is, again, it's such a no-brainer. I have a feeling that if you could somehow get people to pause their partisan bullshit and not know which side of the fence they were supposed to be on, for Team Red or Team Blue on this.
Yeah.
I'd have to assume that the number of people agreeing that Congress should not be able to trade stock, that has to be in 90 percentile or some shit, right?
You don't get that normally in the United States. You don't get a lot of 90 percentiles.
Right, but it's such a but even that basic, just tiny little chunk of ethical requirement is too much for us, because they've been talking about this for years, right? Like Biden has sort of come around to this now, right? This is something that at least Elizabeth Warren was talking about, 8, 12 years ago.
Yeah, man. They've been talking about it for a long time. Pelosi has enriched herself multiple times with this. Mm-hmm. Our side, their side, doesn't matter. They've all done it. They're all doing it. Right. I want to get rid of it. I also like to see them live in barracks. I feel like we put them in military style barracks and sequester them from everybody. So they have to live, you have to live. There's a drill sergeant that comes in and wakes them up every morning and takes them down to Congress. I feel like that's how you go.
Well, and then they all have to live in the same Big Brother house, right? Regardless of which party they're in. So you mix them up. They actually have to, because they can't even get breakfast if they can't get anything done together in that instance.
They're doing keg stands together on the weekends. That'd be amazing.